4 themes in the Moodle conference: flipping the classroom, data, information, knowledge and wisdom, Moodle as a launching pad, and student-centred learning. Christine and I attended Moodlemoot over the 23rd to the 26th of June this year, and the keynote presentation was from Martin Duyamis, and that was called "Don't Waste My Time, Just Help Me Do My Job Better." So Martin really talked about the designs that are coming into Moodle, such as analytics, so understanding how learners learn, and I saw another presentation later that I'll discuss that in, and also some of the usability elements like cleaner designs. The new theme that will come in, that we'll get in December, will allow mobiles and tablets and PCs to look pretty much the same across all the devices, but also other functionalities such as students being able to put in their phone number, their mobile number, and getting all their notifications that their assignments are due by email.
Well, the first presentation I went to was for gaming, and the gaming, there was actually 2 presentations, but I suppose what I got out of the gaming one was that when learners are playing games, it releases a chemical that makes students feel more motivated and happy and so forth. And I think the presenter was trying to portray to us that if you put in some sort of gaming techniques into assessments, it's going to make students not feel so threatened when they are doing assessment tasks. And some of that, I think, is with rewarding them with badges and things like that. So you don't feel like you're failing, you're actually achieving.
Open badges are awesome. It's been 2 years I've been waiting for open badges to actually come out and really get going. It's a project by Mozilla that make Firefox. Now, the concept of open badges is that they're digital badges that actually are awarded to a student or a learner after they complete some sort of learning. Now, it can be done in a lot of contexts, and there's a lot of really exciting projects going on around the world about open badges. It's about recognition. It's cognition sciences have really told us that when we learn for the test, the wrong part of our brains are actually being utilised. But when we learn for fun, the parts of our brains that are being utilised are the bits that are actually more conducive to learning. I told Christine about badges, she just laughed at me until she started on Open to Study. More on that later too. But now I have a Mozilla badge backpack, and I have open badges in that backpack. If I was going to take the helicopter up and say what these things are good for, I can see a lot of relationships to being around recognition of prior learning. Christine and I love badges. I told Christine about badges, she just laughed at me until she started on Open to Study. More on that later too. But now I have a Mozilla badge backpack, and I have open badges in that backpack.
Right, the next presentation I went to was on a Koala, and it was done in 2 parts. Oh, well, there was 2 guest speakers in there. One was the gentleman from Koala, and the other one was the person from the Canberra Institute of Technology and their project where they moved all their content into Koala. It was fantastic, and the way that they implemented that and the advantages that they received from doing it. One of the things they did to encourage staff to put all their content into Koala was to reduce the size of the uploads, so that teachers, if they wanted to put resources into Moodle, they couldn't because it was too big. So they had to put it into Koala and then link to it from in the Moodle from Koala.
The next keynote that I attended was on the return of King Kong, a journey to Skull Island and beyond, and it was presented by Mark Brown from Massey University in New Zealand. Now, one of the things I can say about Massey and New Zealand is that they got started with Moodle really early. Everything that he said was really resonated with me. It's experiences that we're going through at the moment. He talked about the need to have leadership in e-learning, strategic alignment, policy development, appropriate investment, people and infrastructure, and an institutional commitment to the quality to enhance the learning. A clear goal and current understandings of where we want to go in e-learning. Policy development. For example, the communications policy says that all communications are owned by the Institute. It also implies that they're all email, and that's the way the Institute's still talking, but I don't see that as being the reality. So, like all good change, policy tends to lag behind it. So we've got some work to do there. It really did resonate with me in terms of early adopters. A lot of our early adopters in the Institute are now falling into what we wouldn't call best practice, because we were really practicing with the technology. And I'll give an example of this, where a particular course that I went into the other day, the course handbook is actually the workplace handbook. It's not a course handbook at all. So whilst it looked like the course handbook was in there, it's actually not. So there's lots that we can do there, learning. I mean, he really brought home the concept that we need to not teach knowledge, we need to teach people how to find and evaluate knowledge. And that's, again, a shift in vocational education and training.